Hello ladies and gentlemen, welcome to my Money in the Bank 2020 predictions. So we're going to be predicting the entire show from top to bottom. There's only been 6 matches announced so far. I'm doing these predictions just after watching Monday Night Raw. So there might be more matches added on SmackDown, there might be more matches added on Twitter or just before the show, so I apologize for some of the ones I might have missed. I'm assuming we're going to get Street Profits versus the Viking Raiders for the title, because we had that on Raw, so we're probably going to have a rematch for that. I imagine that the Street Profits are going to retain because they lost on Raw to the Viking Raiders. So that's not an official match prediction, but that's what I'm assuming is going to happen. But apart from that, we have 6 matches on the card. So let's go through the predictions. I'm just going to go through them one by one, and let's do this. So up first, we have a Fatal 4-Way Tag Team match for the SmackDown Tag Titles. So it is the Lucha House Party, the New Day, John Morrison and The Miz, and the Forgotten Sons. So the Forgotten Sons have just been called up. They're trying to push the Forgotten Sons. That being said, I think the New Day retain because they've only just won the titles. It seems a bit weird to take the titles off them already. I imagine that the Forgotten Sons are going to put a good show in, and the New Day are going to get a win, and then they'll build to a Forgotten Sons New Day 1-on-1 matchup, or 2-on-2 matchup at a later date. I'm assuming that's what's going to happen, so we're going to go with that. Then we have my luck of the night! What I'm not super confident about at all. This is probably the least confident I've been in a little while for this one. If you don't know what my lock of the night is, it is the match that I'm most confident about. So this is the match I'm most confident about, but I'm still not very confident about it. It is Bayley versus Tamina. So they could reward Tamina with a win, giving her the title, because she's been such a loyal wrestler to the company and she's been there for such a long time. She's the longest, I think she's the longest wrestler on the roster to not hold a title, unless you count the 24/7 championship. But she was the longest person to. She has the longest career in WWE without holding any major titles, so never holding a women's championship. So they could have it so Tamina wins, then someone cashes in on her straight away. So I could see that happening. But I'm going to predict Bayley retains. I'm saying Bayley's going to keep going with the SmackDown title. They're building up this long, like, the longest reign ever, air quotes and stuff. And I believe this is going to end with some kind of matchup with her and Sasha at SummerSlam. That's my predictions. Maybe I might be wrong. They might just hotshot the title back and forth anyway. Who knows? But I'm going to say Bayley. I'm going to say Bayley wins this one. I said Tamina could win it, but I'm going to say Bayley. Then we have the Universal Championship match. It is Braun Strowman versus Bray Wyatt. So they didn't say Braun Strowman versus The Fiend, which is a bit confusing. So I don't know why. So it's going to be Firefly Funhouse Bray? I mean, I'm not sure if they've made that clear or not. I've been watching all the segments, but I still don't know who he's facing, The Fiend or Bray Wyatt, because they're different characters, sort of. I'm gonna go. It's hard to predict because Braun only won it at WrestleMania. But hear me out. Braun Strowman is like, I feel like WWE never really wanted to put the belt on Braun Strowman. So initially, Bray Wyatt held the title going into Saudi Arabia, where he faced Goldberg. Goldberg pulled creative control, saying he wanted to win that match and become Universal Champion. So WWE didn't want to put the title on Goldberg straight away, but then obviously they did, and then they thought it'd be a bigger draw because of Roman and all that. That was stupid anyway. And then Goldberg, so then we had Goldberg versus Roman Reigns scheduled. Roman Reigns went off because he had cancer, rightly so, and obviously he wanted to be. He has 2 kids on the way, so Roman Reigns went off TV, and he's decided, no, I'm not going to be in this matchup. I think they wanted Jeff Hardy to take the title off Goldberg, and then they said no, and then they wanted Goldberg just to retain it, and they said, Goldberg, hold the title until we can get Roman back, basically, and have this match. And Goldberg was like, nah, I'm not adding any more days to my contract. So they just basically, they had to put the title on somebody, so they decided to put it on Braun Strowman. At least that's what I've heard. This might be all crap from what I've heard, but this is what I've read backstage and dirt sheets and stuff. So That being said, I don't think they really want to keep the title on Braun Strowman as Universal Champion. and I feel like they never wanted to take the title off Bray Wyatt in the first place. I think they might be putting the title back on Bray Wyatt, so that's what I'm going to predict. I'm going to say Bray Wyatt wins this one. Then we have, I mean, I could be wrong. I was one of the few people who predicted Braun was going to win it in the first place, so there you go. Anyway, then we have the WWE Championship match. It is Seth Rollins versus Drew McIntyre. They're making Drew look strong. They're making Drew look like a star. Is it too soon to take the title off him? Yes. Yes, it is. It would completely derail all momentum he has. They could have it so he retains and then gets cashed in on by the winner of the Money in the Bank match. That's possible. I'm thinking Drew's going to retain, though. Just because it's so soon, it's possible they could be like, put the title on Seth because we're in uncharted territory at the moment with this virus and all the stuff that's going on in WWE. They might want a steady hand. They might want someone they know can hold the fort, could be the champion for the show. So they could put it on Seth, but I feel like they should keep it on Drew. And I'm going to say they keep it on Drew. Then we have the Women's Money in the Bank ladder match. So it is Nia Jax, Shayna Baszler, Carmella, Asuka, Dana Brooke, and Lacey Evans. So, it's a lot of people who could win this one, to be honest. This one's quite tricky because it could go lots of different ways with this one. My logic is Shayna Baszler lost to Becky Lynch at WrestleMania, so she doesn't really have a storyline way of getting back into the main event picture against Becky Lynch. They've already said that Becky's going to confront whoever wins Money in the Bank, so I'm pretty sure it's going to be a Raw superstar. Unless they just did that to cover themselves, I don't know. Nia Jax has been undefeated, so I think Nia Jax is going to be Becky Lynch's next, well, undefeated since she came back. Nia Jax is going to probably be Becky Lynch's next opponent, meaning that the Money in the Bank holder should be Shayna Baszler. That's my logic. I'm going to go with Shayna Baszler because she's a dirty heel, and they can tease her cashing in lots of times and like opportunist style. I think Shayna Baszler would be a good Money in the Bank holder. I think they do want to put the title on her eventually, but they maybe didn't feel ready at WrestleMania. I'm not quite sure why they didn't put the title on her at WrestleMania. So I'm going to say Shayna wins Money in the Bank. And then we have the final match of the night, the men's Money in the Bank ladder match. I say the final match, they're both going to be on the same time. The men and the women are both climbing the building and the ladders at the same time, which is very strange. But yeah, it's the men's one. It is Otis and Aleister Black, Daniel Bryan, Rey Mysterio, Baron Corbin, and AJ Styles, who won the gauntlet match earlier on today, because as I said, I recorded this just after Raw. And so he has to be the odds-on favourite to win this thing. So I'm going to say AJ Styles wins this one. He's a dirty heel again. The Money in the Bank briefcase is a really good heel prop. It's good to building up a new heel, even though AJ's, he's like established at this point. But it's a good heel device. I think it's either going to be AJ or Baron Corbin, even though Baron Corbin's already won Money in the Bank and he didn't cash it in successfully. I'm seeing AJ holding that briefcase and cashing it on Drew at some point. That's my logical guess. Vince McMahon likes booking AJ strong, and he's just come back from being buried alive. He's just come back from the dead and no-sold it. I think AJ's the odds-on favourite to win this one, and I think he'll look good with the briefcase. I think he'll make an interesting segment on. He'll make it very interesting for the next couple of weeks with the briefcase, I'm sure. And then they can always put the title on AJ at any point they see fit, essentially. If they want to just hotshot the title, they can just put it on AJ at any point. So I think he's a logical winner. So I'm going to go with AJ Styles. So those are all of my predictions for Money in the Bank 2020. If any new matches are added, I do apologise, but I will try and keep it. Maybe put some comment below if they update with new matches or whatever. But let me know your predictions in the comments below. And until next time, who do you think is going to fall off Titan Towers? Because that's a rumor that's been going around that Becky was supposed to take a bump off Titan Towers, which is very strange. I'm thinking out of the men, it's most likely to be Baron Corbin, probably falling off the tower. For the women, Dana Brooke maybe. Who do you think's falling off the building, if anyone? Let me know in the comments. Sorry, that was a bit of a diversion, a bit off tact there. But yeah, who do you think's falling off the building? Who do you think's winning Money in the Bank? Who do you think's winning the Universal and WWE title and Women's SmackDown and SmackDown Tag Team titles? Who do you think's winning all the matches? Let me know in the comments below. And until next time, too sweet. Latest guy.
Join Potato Club today and too sweet that subscribe button.